Nah, I fucks with Pat.
Yeah.
Look at how he talks to these niggas.
Yeah, yo.
Yo, turn that shit up.
Turn that shit the fuck up right now.
Talking that shit. Let's go.
Yo. When you up and you winning, shit is awesome. Never felt real pain till a nigga lost one. If somebody take from you, what it's gonna cost them? Tired of niggas acting like they really put in work. Hear the boss come, be yourself. It'll do you better in the long run than see yourself staring down the barrel of a long gun. Some rappers never had no street cred, so they bought some.
I think I'm funnier than the niggas that people think the funniest.
Yeah? See?
100%. Pound for
Stop
pound.
it. Who's on that list?
Why are we stopping?
Who on the list?
Yeah.
I put it like this. Who's on that list? If you make the argument, it's going to be, especially right now, it's going to be, you're going to have Dave Chappelle, you're going to have Chris Rock, you're going to have Cat Williams, you're going to have, who else on that list?
Earthquake.
You can have Earthquake. And the reason I say that, and not to say, in everybody on that list, if you ask them about me, they'll say I'm a problem. Somebody always, whenever, because you got the norms, wherever motherfuckers say, I heard motherfuckers say, Dave Chappelle is the dopest to do it. I was like, okay, if that's the question, if that's what you believe, and it is true with some people, of people's opinion.
Right.
But then you ask Dave, now I'm talking about my peer, I'm not saying this for myself, my peers speak for me.
Right.
If you ask Dave that, if you ask Dave who gonna be his top five, who one of the funniest motherfuckers he know, I'm gonna come out their mouth.
Right.
So it's a matter of opinion on what you like.
Right.
I think out of every one of those people that I mentioned, that I have some similarities and I hit shit the way they do it. But I believe, and it's not just me saying it,
Right.
it's the street saying it, and this motherfucker's been following my career for 32 years, is that he one of the funniest people I know that haven't had the equal platform as other people. And that's the only one of the things that separate. I do a lot of interviews, and I think the GOAT, I think the word GOAT is overrated. I think I'm goatee qualities.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm GOAT qualities, right? And people, it always comes up because my affiliation with the Chappelle show, they'll ask, I'll tell them what makes Dave great. I say, Dave's a very funny person, right? But to get to a certain level, something has to happen in your life that puts you to that activist, that philosopher. You know what I mean? And I call it the Muhammad Ali moment. You know what I'm saying? It's that moment when something had to happen in your life where it was a question of your integrity, your character, and what you want to stand for. Although Muhammad Ali was a great boxer, his values and what they thought about him as a human would push him that level. And when I say Dave had his Ali moment, is when he had a situation with the money.
He walked away from the bread.
Almost everybody would have took the money. I would have took it with no question.
With no question.
No, I would have took it with no question. Because some of the argument is like, some people say that people on the crew made them feel uncomfortable about certain jokes. And the reason why I said I would have took it with no question, because anybody on the set that would have made me feel uncomfortable, whatever, I would have fired them.
Right.
I would have fired them. Anything that made me, I would have fired them, and I would have kept it back. And that's because I never experienced millions. It's easy for you know, that's like motherfucking in hip hop business. They know they're getting a raw deal right off the rip. Okay, here go $250,000, but you ain't never seen $250,000. You gonna jump on it.
Right.
But at that point, I don't know there was Dave's character, but part of it is that when you've lived that multi-million-dollar lifestyle, whatever, you make decisions different. You know what I'm saying? Like even when he says that deal, he said that contract he made it as a young young father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Needing the money, whatever. Then when you get older and everything, you're like, okay, these motherfuckers getting me. I haven't had that experience. I wouldn't have took the money selling my soul, whatever, but I would have figured out a way to fix it where I could took $50 million.
Keep the $50 million.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out from him exactly why he didn't take it? He's always been vague with that story.
No, and the thing about it, people ask that question, I didn't really care. My thing when it happened for him was that, how was he? How were you mentally? How are you doing? I think it was probably maybe a year and a half, 2 years that I hadn't seen him since that time. I saw him at the stand-up New York Comedy Club on 79th and Broadway. And part of me, I was like, damn, I wanted to smack him and hug him at the same time. I'm like, nigga, what happened to the bag, right? But then I'm like, nigga, you can't do that. But at the same time, it was good to see he was looking healthy, he was in good spirits and everything. And to be quite honest, I've never had a personal conversation with him about what happened.
Why not?
We just didn't discuss it. He didn't bring it up. And then like me, and there was some question, and I think.
Did it feel uncomfortable? Like
what, did he left?
Like, no, to ask about it.
I just felt like.
It's like a nigga lose a Super Bowl and
I just felt like.
You in the locker room and you're like.
Yeah, but then at the same time, your locker room, and a million motherfuckers ask you the same question. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you'll get tired of answering that shit. And then I thought the relationship, our friendship was bigger than the work situation. And then for me, people was like, was you fucked up when he left? How could I be fucked up? That show, I was already nice, but that show gave me a platform for people to see what I was doing.
Right.
And that's why I was like this, whatever happened, whatever happens after that, I'm gonna take that experience and take the platform they gave me and do it. And I wanna say this, and I've never said this, and he brought up to my attention about a month ago, and he never said it to me. He was fucked up that me and Charlie did that half season after he left the show. You know, and that was one of the toughest decisions I had to make. And it was like Dave left, no communication with nobody, at least me. Didn't know what his thoughts was, how he felt about it, didn't know why he left.
Right.
Right?
But you knew there was something wrong.
I knew he wasn't coming back. I knew he wasn't coming back.
How'd you know that?
Because the nigga didn't come back. That's how. And the funny thing, and now I know he didn't come back because the nigga didn't come back. We was on set for a week after that shit. Like, maybe he gonna be late. But I'm gonna tell you, the crazy part for me was, and this you gotta realize, the show blew up, right? And then me and Charlie was on fire. We did a tour, the Rich Bitch tour.
Yeah.
The show, but before he left, it was weird because me and Charlie was happy to come back to work. Getting paid a little bit of money. We wasn't tripping off that money.
Right.
You hear so many artists talking about, well, I only got paid so-and-so, so-and-so. You can't say, okay, a show, well, he didn't when he got back the money. You can't say, okay, we was happy with a little bit of change we was getting there because the bigger picture was people got to see us.
Right.
That first 2 seasons, I would have did that show for free. There was a couple of people on the show that was really argue about how much it was getting paid. They was arguing about another $500 from a $500 sketch, right? Oh, I need $1,000. $500 and $1,000 to me is the same amount of money. You know what I'm saying? If you, and the reason why I say that, what could you do with 500? What can you do with 1,000? You can't do with 500. It's
whatever you could do with 5 twice.
Twice. But what I'm saying is the level of that money. For me,
right.
and I'm not speaking on Charlie's behalf, but I know he felt the same way because he was saying it was bigger for us to get the platform for the world to see us, and then we go out and get our money.
Right, but how was it after by the 3rd season, you guys are not making a substantial amount of money?
The deal wasn't for us. The deal wasn't with us. And then when you got a situation like that, they only care, the common sense of, they could care less about me and Charlie. They don't really respect what our contribution is. Dave is the marquee guy. The show is about him. His show, that's the person that they're gonna go for first. At that time, we were still negotiating. We probably could have tried to negotiate more money, but then I was like, this is not the time for me to haggle over money.
Because Dave is gone.
No, it wasn't time for me to haggle over money because it didn't matter what they paid me to be on that show. It wasn't gonna surpass me coming up with the idea of doing a tour, Rich Bitch tour, me, Charlie, Bill Burr. That's when we started getting money.
It's all around. Look around you, man. You can find inspiration. You can find discouragement. It all depends on you. Perception is everything. Some people just hear another song. Some people hear the greatest. A nigga used to have no chill. Nowadays I bump side A. Traffic going bumper to bumper, stuck on the highway.